Hey again. Today is Friday. Oh, hey, there we go. We're enjoying the V0.3 launch of Skeleseller. Whoop! Hey, Reformulate. Thanks for the resub. And hey, Joss. 1 week from today, he wants to focus on the new player experience since he has a friend trying the game tomorrow as part of user research. There we go. We have got the command. Hey, Phil. Hey, Kevin. Feel like we're on YouTube, just using first names here. I'm Adam. You are watching Adam Learns Live, where I plan on doing no learning, and this was pre-recorded months ago. Okay, where did we leave off? Clean up the commit and then start working on the adventurer stuff. Yeah, let's do it. Let's actually see where we left off in terms of game stuff. This is a recorded rerun. Yep, and I have predicted ahead of time because I know you all so well what you're going to say. Mr. Anderson, thanks for the resub. Thank you for the resub. Happy 9 months. I've always wanted to say your name like how Agent Smith says it every time I welcome you back. Mr. Anderson. All right, this is looking good. Then you build this, you go through this, you start the first battle, and your skeleton moves again. Yeah. Let's fix the Z-index problem now, because it should be very easy to do. A classic. I love the first Matrix movies, the first three. I did not like the fourth one. The dialogues don't all inherit from the same thing, so I'm going to just change these on all of these. This was already set to 5. Where else do we have dialogues? Hire adventurer. This is already set to 10. Oh, what else? Pay to hire adventurer. That's already set to 10. Text dialogue, dialogue box, build dialogue. These must not be set to 10, right? No, this one is. One of them is not, because I saw a problem. Ordering. No, weird. Huh. I don't know. Just run it again. There's only one Matrix movie. I know some people are of that opinion. I do like the whole trilogy. Okay, so that fixed that problem. Now, are these all fine? Yep, that looks good. Oh, it was the nudge that didn't look good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Now in 5 seconds, this is going to show up beneath the trees, right? Whoa, where'd that go? No, it's not beneath the trees. Didn't I take a picture of this being beneath the trees? I took a picture of something. Oh, that. Whoa there. I just found someone for you. I think that was text dialogue, which I've just changed. Yeah, it was. Okay, good. So that's fixed. How was the meal? It was good. Had some eggs and rice. Kind of wish I had Neo's hacking skills right now. They were throwing away a Cisco router at work, so I took it home and trying to learn iOS. Well, at least you got a router for free. Assuming it's not in bad shape. That's pretty good pickup. 2 and 3 are fine. Didn't watch 4. Yeah, 4 was not worth it. 4 was also apparently more of a statement than it was an actual movie. And that if you weren't sort of in on the statement, that it just seemed like a bad movie. That's how I felt. All right, looks good. Oh, well, actually, we don't need this to be here anymore. Yeah, we don't need this to be here. Guild master spawn text dialogue. Yeah, whatever calls this can just call into the static function directly. This label entity. Yeah, so entity. There. Okay, now we can delete this. Hang on 1 second. I will be right back. Okay, sorry. My wife could not find the batteries and needs to replace her mouse battery. She now has batteries, so everything's good. All right, where did I leave off? Because I actually did lose my train of thought there. We deleted a function from this. Yeah, so I just got to finish checking the changes. Not yet, Syrah, not yet. We will have one this afternoon, almost certainly. Oh yeah, this I hadn't fixed. The sign particles thing. There are a couple ways we can kind of cheat our way around this. We have the particle system here. Particles 2D. Is there a way to just like reset it? There's no reset. If you change the number of particles, that's how you can kind of fake it. Is there any way to just make it restart the whole thing? I don't know. Like a start or a stop? There isn't any of that stuff. Godot CPU particles 2D. How do you make it stop playing? These are the properties, methods. Restart. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank goodness. Great. Okay, so then yeah, we can just do this, right? CPU particles 2D.restart. And then this will work. Thing is, we don't actually want there to be another tween. I guess we do. I wonder if this overrides the last one, though. I guess we could put an on finished and just see what happens. Tween.finished plus equal gd.print tween finished. Okay, then let's have it take 10 seconds. Is that going to be enough? No, maybe we'll just have it be 30 like it was originally, and we'll just have to wait that long. Okay. Hey, Grace, I did not hide the batteries. I even told her where they were, but she couldn't find them. Just because I covered them in camo tape and threw them out in the bushes. My most impressive coding was an old alarm system I rebuilt, made the motion sensor set off the siren. I leave it in random places and scare my wife with it. Oh no. This started off so great, but then I don't like where it ended. Yeah. Oh, bells. What? What's wrong with you both? Oh. Okay, did this work? How many tweens are going to print out? I guess we can speed this up and then we can see this within, what, 4 seconds? Tween finish 5, 6. What? 6? Oh, because every sign has these particles. This is not smart. Does my wife ever come on stream? No, she's never been on stream. I think at most people have heard her talk before. Hey, Janango. Welcome back. Yeah, I hadn't been streaming for a couple of years, I guess. Last time you were here was... Wait, no. Last time you were here was 2 years ago. I guess I was streaming during the time. Wow. Yeah, well, anyway, I was working at Google, although I was working at Google even back then. But I took mostly 3 years off of streaming. I'm actually glad you clarified that, Thals, because your comment, original one, sounded out of place and not fitting for the kind of content I stream. All right, so we have 6 of these printing out, which means we're not getting rid of the tween over here, which means we will need to keep track of this. Okay, we're here for botline dev. Yeah. It's nice to still be working on a different game. All right, so yeah, how do I want to do this? We either keep track of the tween and make sure that it's set up differently, or we only show the particles when we show the sign. I think only showing the particles when we show the sign probably makes the most sense. So yeah, let's do that. But we would still need to keep track of the tween, right? In case we show the sign multiple times. No, I guess we assume that it only shows once. So we don't even need this restart here. So set up sign particles. This should only happen when we show the sign. Why is this protected? Oh, I made it protected just for this. Yeah. So just make this private and call it from show, which we don't have show, but we can modify it. There's a visibility change, I think. Visibility change here. Okay. So we want to put that in this. Yep. If is visible in tree, set up sign particles. And this doesn't need to be async. These should only show, the particles should slowly fade in. So we only set up the particle system to do that. On the particle system once this signpost is visible. Hey, again, APX. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's try it out. Do we still have that finished thing on here? No, we don't. But let's add it, because otherwise we're not going to know for sure that this worked. Print tween done. I think this will work. I think this will look good. The functional difference here is so negligible that it almost doesn't matter, but still I want this to be correct. So we click look around, this thing spawns in. It slowly got particles on it now. Same thing if we eventually win a battle, we'll slowly see the particles over here. So that way it's like, oh, hey, there's the sign, remember that? But if you don't click it, it gets more and more appealing. Hey, Amy, no problem with that now. And hey, Banana. I'm a new player in the Skeleseller space. Just working on experiences. You're okay if I redo the Skeleton character sprite? Yeah, I'm okay with that, but I also think it looks good. What do you want to change? Tween done. Oh, I never looked at that. Oh, darn it. I know only one of them printed out, but we might have needed to wait for another one to print out. So let's just have this speed up quite a lot. Okay, now we need to wait up to 4 seconds. Should print. Good. And then if I click create and win, 2, 3, 4, should print again. Good. Cool. Nice. Is Botland canon to the Skeleseller storyline? Yes. Botland was the destruction of the world, and then Skeleseller is the rebuilding of it. Build Guild floating text something you want there long term, or will it be on some sort of sign pop up? I think at least the Build Guild one will be there even long term, because you should dismiss this within the first like 10 seconds of playing the game. But the other signs, maybe they're a little different in the future. Like maybe you have to hover over them for them to show. But I'm not sure. I will have to see. In my mind, that's something that we could look at probably more toward launch. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that when my friend plays a game, it's like clear enough what's happening. Doesn't fit with the other sprites. Now I've done some other characters. I see. Yeah, it's up to you, Quickie Joe. I mean, I would welcome different sprites, I guess, but I don't want to make you do unnecessary work. I guess for us, it's going to be super simple work because we just need to drop in a new picture. Want some creative input. I've been doing some world building and came up with creation magic named weaving. Now there's also an alteration magic where someone changes attributes of an object or themselves. I don't know what to call that. Not weaving. Transposing. Transposing's pretty good. I like that. Let's see what else. I mean, you could just call it weaving and alteration, right? Yeah, transfiguration. Well, let's change the attribute of objects. You could theme it as like a bringing out the essence. Could be called something like essence crafting, or what does it mean to like draw something out? What's a word for that? extrication, something like that. Wow, weaving. Okay, delete this. All right, I think we're good with everything now. So let's just see if we're good to check in. Looking good so far. Don't need that. In fact, we could run a .NET format over here. I actually thought of a cool idea for a book, which I'm not going to share, but I will. The reason I brought this up is the thing I thought about sharing, which is Skeleseller takes a lot of creative energy just to do, and then a lot of like work energy as well. So there's the creative energy of game design and music composition, and I guess to some extent some programming, and then there's a work energy of the programming and the management and the whatever else, like prioritization. So I want to write something, but I don't know where to get the creative energy from. I don't know where to get the time from. I feel like all of my overflow creative energy should be going into music composition right now. See, I got to figure that out. Yeah, cool idea, but I'm not going to share. Well, that wasn't really the point. Yeah. Yeah, how am I going to sell you the book? Oh, man. All right, what else do we have to do? This is all looking good. 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 This is ugly, but it'll work. So we'll just leave it like that for right now. This other stuff is fine. That's fine for now. I do want this to be in its own system, I think. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Move all the create worker code to its own system. Move the create worker code to its own system somewhere so that town doesn't have to have it. Weaving and transformation. I feel like weaving is a cool name and transformation is not. And I don't mean that jokingly. I mean, I think they have to kind of match. They both have to be cool names or they both have to be descriptive names. Also, you could actually, I know the wow weaving thing was a joke, but you could make it like weaving and attribute weaving or something. So it's just two kinds of weaving and one is more specific than the other. This is all pretty good. There's only one thing I do want to consider here, which is the opening dialogue good? Could it be better? Atrieving. I mean, you could also just go for what weaving is like. A craft or action of forming fabric by interlacing threads. Yeah, you could call it like weaving and dyeing. What about that? D-Y-E-I-N-G. Dyeing is like changing the attribute of something. And that way they're both in the same vein. And I've got the land for Skeleton, but I need adventurers to do battle for me. If only I had a guild. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Yeah, dying. Yeah. As in, I'm dying to change the attributes on this object. What a zinger. Whoa. This guy's a comedic genius. Okay, this is looking good. Let's check this in. Add state machine for worker. No, it's not really that. Add beginning states for your worker. This is to ease the player into the game and add a little flavor. The red binding. It's pretty good. All right, get rid of the guild sign. Just have your skeleton there. So we're done with this. Yeah, this is all finished. Be nice to show outlines. Yeah, that's a cleanup sort of thing. Make your character walk to the guild master. New state. So this is all kind of done. Clean up the commit. Need to reset particles in the sign. We're done with that stuff too. When you hire your adventurer, spawn them next to the guild master. They should eventually have to run to the portal to start their fight, which means we should pan the camera to them. Maybe we should spawn from outside the town and walk to the guild master. Maybe the guild should be moved closer to the portal. Weaving and binding. Yeah. You don't even read emails, really. I do think AI is changing quite a lot about how we're living our lives. At least I feel for the people who are using it actively. I think for the people who aren't using it actively, it's not changing a whole lot just yet, but I think it will soon enough. I mean, imagine, I still think one of the best uses of AI is for things that AI is already very good at, but that is just not cost effective yet to use it for. So for example, like you probably, if you make coffee, you probably make coffee at roughly the same time every day, or at least most people probably do. So it's like, that's something where AI could probably just learn that you're doing it that way and then have the coffee ready for you and take into account like, oh, it's Saturday. So you don't need to set a custom schedule or something. I just know you wake up a little later on Saturday, so I'll just make it a little later. Like little things like that. It'd be a minor, like a 1% improvement to your life. But if every single device in your life is doing this, that'd be great. Those are just called if statements, but not really, right? Like, what if it were connected to your phone? I know I'm getting a little extensive here, but what if it were connected to your phone and it saw a message from somebody, or you read your calendar, or there was some other logic it used and it was like, oh, you're out of town. I'm just not going to make coffee at all today. Maybe statements, yeah. We'll call them weaving and thread binding statements, I think. So I like this. Spawn them next to the guildmaster. I also like the idea of spawning them from outside the town and having them walk there. I don't think I want to put too much thought in this just yet. So I think just having them fade in next to, that would probably look a little weird. But yeah, fading in a character right next to your guildmaster. And be like, whoa, where'd you come from? Yeah, sorry, you're making language now. Weave conditions. A switch weave state. So they just spawn there. And then it had to tell you about battling. Yeah, I already have the character, so this is kind of pointless now. Let's see. This probably should have faded in. Ugh. Didn't I do this in the nudge for the guildmaster? I think I did. Fade battle nudge. Here it is. Yeah. Well, time to go do that too. Guild signpost. We have a fade in thing. Actually, I guess the fade for pretty much everything looks the same, right? I should probably just make a generic fade for it. What does modulate come from? Comes from canvas item. And tweens can be added to any canvas item? A Godot object. Can I voice act? I only shout. Yeah, sure. And hey, Caleb. All right, I definitely think we want this somewhere because we end up doing this quite a lot. Where should we put that? What makes the most sense? It's not necessarily a UI thing. It's like a Godot helper function. Oh, node functions. That would kind of work. Oh, animation functions. Of course. Ha 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 ha. All right, so fade functions. Sure, fade functions. Just delete everything. Public static void fade in. So we take in a canvas item. We take in a fade time. And maybe something else. There's going to be item.modulate, item.show, item.createTween, item duration. There. All right, delete all this stuff. All right, so we call fade in on the guild sign. This is just going to do fade functions dot fade in 2.0. Do we do this anywhere else? We just search for modulate A. We should find it pretty easily, I think. Tween to fade in, but show needs to be called. Set up tweens. Available action indicator. I don't think we should do it here. What's this one? Fade out. Well, technically, the fade function should also have a fade out, right? Tween.finished. If we return the tween, then we can do something based on it. In fact, this should probably return the tween too. Yeah. All right, so battler fade out. Let's go do that. Public static tween fade out. Should actually just be able to write the whole function for me. Oh, it did. There we go. All right, I want to make sure this looks like this. So disappear is called at the end of this. What does this do? Disappear. I think we'll leave it to this to figure out what to do at the end. Presumably you'd want to hide it, but not necessarily. All right, so we create a tween on the item. We modulate its A down to 0 over the duration. Set it to linear. That's questionable. I don't know what we want for the transition type. But anyway, it's fine. Questionable, but fine. Actually, embroidering is pretty good for that. Yeah. Or what's the word? Embellishing. Embellishing. I like it. Weaving and embellishing. Make transition type a default param. I will probably do that once we end up having one that transitions differently. Because yeah, then I think we could just pass in all these things differently. But for now, we probably don't even have that many fade outs yet. So fade functions dot fade out this over 1 second. There we go. Any others? What is this doing? Fade in. We set the modulate originally to 0. Is that something that's done in the fade function? Yes, it is. Then we make a tween. Tween property over 1 second. Set it to quartic. Why did I do that? I did it quadratic over here. I don't really think I thought about this too much. Maybe I wanted to fade in a little bit faster. But I guess this goes to what monadic bind said. Wouldn't you want to add that as a parameter to the constructor? There's no constructor here. This is just a static function. So I think monadic bind is suggesting here is pretty good. We can just take in the, what's it called? Transition type. Tween.transition type equals quadratic by default. And then set this here. Yeah. Hey, Hepta. Yeah, maybe I'm being dense right now. Okay, so fade in. We're going to put this here. Fade functions, fade in. And this is going to be on this thing. It's going to take 1 second, and it's going to take in the quartic transition type. There. The robots are sophisticated creations designed with precision. Oh man, I can't talk. Precision and imbued with ancient weaving magic. Gives them semi-extensions and adaptability. Yeah, I guess if you were writing a magical novel about the Botland universe. But then do I come up if it's the Botland universe? You talk about some creator named Adam. What is this for? Floating text, and we are tweening the... We're fading this out over the course of some amount of time. I don't think we need to do anything there. Yeah. Fade battle nudge. Create a tween. Set either the end alpha or the start alpha and do something special based on this. I don't think I want to do anything there either. Set loops on item. Oh yeah, this is to fade it out and in over and over. This is the shop keep for the new quest indicator. Okay, that's fine. And this is to fade in the particles over a very long time. Yeah. CPU particles 30F. And then we're going to pass in a transition type of linear. And then delete all this stuff. Bells. Oh boy. Oh, we don't need to set this modulate either. So everything should just look the same as what it did. And the whole reason I did this was to save like one line of code. So fade out in the battler. So let's go test that. So you create an instance, you win that instance. Did that fade out? No. It's when you kill an enemy. Okay, so we need to keep our eye on the bat. I don't want to wait this long. Stupid rogue. Raise your DPS. Should fade out. Yeah, nice. That looked good. Okay, so that's that one. Then we had end battle screen. We saw that fade in. That was good. And it should have been the same function here. Quartic easing in. Is that the same? No, this was easing out. Oh, God. Got to change the ease function as well. No, we can't have that. That's the Atom command. Wrote to the wrong union field in the switch case. Oh, no. At least you figured it out. I think those are sometimes signs that you should take a break. And sometimes they're just, who knows, it might have happened in the best of times. But yeah, generally probably take a break. Hey, James. James, you heard back about the interviews? What was I doing? What was I doing? I tested that one. I did not test the sign, I guess. That works. Okay. And then I think I have one more I need to test, which is the particles, which are also presumably working. Yeah. Yeah, if we speed this up, we'll be able to see. Although I'm pretty sure it's already working fine. There. So that should be at maximum opacity now. Yeah. Continue on to the next round. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, go to the bathroom, take a shower, harvest ideas. All right, so the only thing we would need to do then is pass in the easing function as well, which is fine, I guess. Excuse me, if I'm going to do this, though, I want to parameterize this correctly. So this is typically ease out, and we want it to be set to ease in. Fade functions. Tween.ease type equals out. And we want to set this here. And then we want to change this for that one thing, end battle screen. So this is transition type. And this is ease type. And this is going to be in. Last one, promise. I looked up to here. Will stop pasting GPT output in chat. Sorry. Huh. Weird. It's almost like you won't stop and that you're not sorry. That's a nightmare at the Apple Store today. Walked out confused without my upgrade and with my phone erased. Whoa, what happened? Actually, what we're going to find out is that James actually never left the Apple Store. This is all taking place inside of Apple Vision Pro. Then James took it off and realized, wait a second, I never even gave them my phone. And then took off another set and said, wait a second, I never even went to the Apple Store. They were in their Quest the whole time. It just keeps going like that afterward. They took off another 10 pairs of VR goggles. The refactor fade functions into a single spot. This was for the straightforward fade functions, at least. Fading in and out. We should have removed a bunch of lines from a bunch of files. So this is -5. This is -4. This is -1. This is -4. Yeah. I think it's probably worth it. Just playing Roy? Is that a Rick and Morty reference? Person helping with my upgrade didn't seem to know whatever was going on. Then for some reason my loan got denied. Then turns out because there's a crack on the back, I now need to book a Genius Bar appointment to fix it. Oh man. Oh, that does sound like a nightmare. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so when you hire your adventurer, so we wanted to fade in the adventurer, at least just to see what it looked like. Is that what started all of this? Instead of just spawning them from outside the town? They're spawning every 20 minutes. I'm sorry. That's probably painful, but it's hilarious because, like, man, it should not be that way. It is Rick and Morty. Okay. Yeah, I remember the episode. I think there might have been 2 episodes with it. Sorry, we sold your reserved phone to someone else. Oh, man. Man. Then they just randomly slap you in the face. And you're like, what was that for? And they're like, we're just trying to make this experience worse for you. If you tried responding back every 21 minutes, it'd probably just cut you out of the chat. It'd be like, you can't do that as a customer, but we can do that as an employee. All right, yeah. I think I want to just spawn them right next to where you are. Let's close all tabs. Trying to enjoy my Friday. Oh, that. Oh my God, I was going to fade that in. Now I remember. It's so obvious to me now. It was the beginning state of the skeleton going to the ponder build guild thing. Oh, I wanted to fade this in. Fade functions. Dot fade in the dialogue over the course of, I don't know, 2 seconds. Might be. Well, what does the guild master do? How about we just look at that? Spawn. Oh, it doesn't even exist here anymore. Text dialogue. Add text dialogue to entity. You don't have a fade in? Wait, what? Oh, it's a nudge that does it? Yeah. This is done through something else anyway, though, but it's 1 second. So let's see what that looks like. Well, James, hopefully it means that you're in for a bout of good luck. All right, so that faded in, yeah. I've got the land for Skeleton, but I need adventurers to do battle for me. If only I had a guild. Look around. Oh my God, there's a guild. We could build one. All right, so what we're saying is you want to hire them and put them right there. Just fade them in. And then when they send them in the battle part, you'd click send start battle. And I guess you'd see them walk to the portal. Yeah, we should probably do that. Yeah, completely by accident. There's a guild sign over there. How did that get there? Yeah. Make adventurers walk to the portal. Okay, so we need a new state for adventurers. We need to do this the same way we did with the other state machine thing. This was a state machine. This says it's for workers, but it actually doesn't need to be for workers. It could be for anyone. It could be that this holds the customer state machine as well. Because they're the same kind of state machine. Oh, no, they're not. Why are they not? Does this do something specific with a customer? Out of money. Yes, it does. Okay, well, fine. This is just fade in the skeleton, fade in a dialogue. Doesn't matter what. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll need a new component to save this. We'll need to spawn the adventurer at a particular place, and we'll need them to stop moving. So we've got some state functions over here. I guess we're going to need to put this inside of NPCs and add a customer states. I don't know where that just went. There. And then we should put these sorts of states in there. Customer wander should go into customer states. Actually, that might be the only one. Is that the only one? What other states does a customer have? Buy item, which is not just for... Oh yeah, only customers buy items. Other ones can pick up items. Yeah, so these two should go into there. What was that noise? I was moving a file on my OS. Okay, let's go put those somewhere else. We'll put these into NPCs, customer states. Save. NPCs, customer states. And buy item should go there too. Customer states. There. And then save that over here. Then go delete the other ones. Buy item, customer wander. That was what it's called, right? Yeah. And then go fix every reference to that. We probably just broke a bunch. This game is looking dope too. Yeah, I haven't seen Windy stream in a little while. I guess my morning routine has changed. When he stopped streaming, I stopped looking for his stream, and that was the only reason I opened Twitch in the morning. It was for like the 20 minutes before I was going to go shower. That fixed this? It should have. I'm already starting to think about some other games that I'd like to make. I just keep thinking, I am so glad I'm not making a multiplayer game. I do not want to make another multiplayer game for a while. And even talking to Melmsy about Dank Memer and the problems that he's encountered, it just makes me think there's a lot of headache that goes with multiplayer games. Oh, get back to the regular schedule in 2025. Cool. Yeah. Want to make a game about a world where people can weave and thread bind? I already made Botland, Rami. Absolutely no multiplayer is the place to be. It is. Just connect two controllers. Local multiplayer is much better. Yeah. And the days when you made an N64 game or a PlayStation 1 game, those I think were fine. As soon as it became internet multiplayer, I think we encountered a billion problems as game developers. And I think that is pretty tough to deal with. I'm going to run this again. This takes a decent amount of time. Okay. Skeleseller Battle Pass. Well, the other thing, even local competitive games, I feel like when you have a local competitive game and there's an imbalance in the game, that the players themselves will police that imbalance. And the earliest possible example I can remember is GoldenEye 007 Odd Job. Odd Job was like a really short character in the game, and it was really cheap to play as Odd Job. Yeah, here we go. So imagine a character that's half the height of the other characters. There's just less to hit. So people just didn't allow you to play Odd Job. Yeah. But yeah, once you make it online multiplayer, there's nothing to police that anymore. But even like fighting tournaments, they'll ban players, and then people just can't use those players anymore. Or characters, I mean. They don't ban players. Well, they probably ban players. All right, this is all the same. I've just moved this to another location. So relocate customer specific states. This is in preparation for having new states. I have not heard of that game. But wow. what a ridiculous system to have. Wow. Yeah. Ugh. Already hired adventurer, spawn next to guild master. So now we need a new state for customers. We have the beginning state. I guess it's just going to be like a beginning of game state. We could save the same sort of thing in there. And the beginning state here is going to be to just literally do nothing. Until what? Until you're instructed to go to a battle. Yeah, so beginning state is do nothing until instructed to battle, then enter walk to portal state. Hey, Darkstorm. Yeah, I never really played a lot of Street Fighter either. I was a Smash Bros. Person through and through. Also, if anyone hasn't heard of Smash Remix, is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, someone made a mod of the N64 game that adds in, I guess, pretty much all the characters you see here. So it's got Falco and Young Link and Lucas, Dark Samus, Ganondorf. It's still the N64 game, so it sort of feels dated, but it's cool they managed to do that. Okay, so this is in the customer state machine now? Yeah. NPCs.customer state. Beginning state. And we literally do nothing here. So all of this should just be gone. And the way we know that we leave this state is with an event that doesn't exist. Which we'll now need to add to every state. And what is that event called? Actually, I guess we could have transitions from outside of the states themselves, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the state machine because you wouldn't be able to tell where the transitions happen. Play any Project M. I might have a very long time ago. Is that a modified version of Brawl? Yeah. Community made mod of Brawl. Yeah, I think I might have played this like a little bit. Okay. So we want customers to start. Oh no, this isn't even customers. What am I doing? Oh man, this is NPCs or adventurers. Oh no, I'm just not paying attention. Do we have any adventurer specific states? What is their state machine? Do they even have a state machine? They do. Wander, pick up item, drop off item, in battle. In battle is adventurer specific. Yeah. Adventurer states. There's a beginning state for them. I guess we could just put it here. I guess we just move this. I don't know what to even call this. Waiting to start battle. Adventurer waiting to start battle state. Whatever. Adventurer waiting to start battle. Yeah. And then this just goes into that namespace. The adventurer then gets this and starts in that state. Make sure future adventurers are subsequently hired adventurers. Do not start in the start state that everyone else starts in. Customer states the car made some noise. I've heard of that subreddit. I haven't actively browsed Reddit in a very long time because right around the time they made those mobile API changes, I was like, all right, that's it. That's a good enough reason for me to just stop using Reddit. And now it's only when I kind of incidentally end up there. So for example, if you're like Godot, how to move sprite, like chances are there's going to be a Reddit post somewhere in here. Yeah, like there. And I'm not opposed to going to Reddit. I just don't really browse it anymore. And I realized it was like almost no net loss to my life. It was really just mindless entertainment. It's not like I posted. It's not like I was part of a community. I ended up with gaps of air in the middle 2 layers. If you like shake it really hard at the beginning and then try to force all the whatever condiment you have, so mayo in that case, to the bottom of the container, it typically works a little better. You just have a common problem with a lawnmower going off in the background? Yes, it was. And I had a mower image. Yeah, I found this always incredibly strange. Like I can't post something, but if this ended up on the website, people might still like it. Yeah. What was wrong with jars of mayonnaise is having to turn it upside down. That's too much work. We need squeeze bottles for everything. All right, so if a worker starts off or if an adventurer starts off in this state, then they're never going to move. And now we need to position them at some new location, like over here. So where? Add adventurer, hire adventurer? Hire adventurer calls add. Add sets the position. We're going to set your first position. We're just going to override this to be somewhere close by. Where does the guild spawn? Let's just start this. You have to dirty a spoon, though. What are you talking about? This is just totally inconvenient. Hey, Gazella, how's the game? It's going well. Yeah. Also, what does this say? I recognize my name. Adam. Okay, I think I know what you're asking me. Well, let me translate it anyway. All right, I've translated it into Japanese, which I do not understand. Yes. Okay. I can read Arabic. I can't understand what I'm reading, though. Same with Hindi, generally. Want toothpaste style containers for my condiments? You know what my mom showed me? So let me show you something. Oh, let me see if I can find this. Okay, these. You get a container like this and you put mouthwash in it. So now this is how we use mouthwash in the evening, is by squirting it into our mouths. Actually works great. The only problem is these are kind of cheap, so there's like a blue mouthwash crust that forms around the opening. But it works well. It is genius. Alright, so I'm gonna build this, and then we're gonna figure out what spot we want to move them into, which they're already gonna put right on top of there, but then let's just start walking immediately. Oh, they don't. That's right. Okay, so we want to move them a little bit over. Let's figure out, whoops. Let's figure out exactly where we're trying to move them though. Remote town scene. Why doesn't it show in here? I wanted to see the coordinates. What? You can't open this? Huh. I guess not. Okay. Genius until you spray your eyes. I think that would be very tough to do. Although with your luck streak lately, maybe that would happen to you. But hey, then you've got washed out eyes at least. All right, so we just have to kind of estimate where this thing is. I just want to move them a little bit to the right. Let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 5 tiles, so like 80 pixels, and maybe up by like 10. So plus 80 and up 10. Up is minus, I guess. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. That might be slightly better. That is cursed, but I also can't find a reason to protest it. It's not cursed. Don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I just wanted to be somewhere over here. Probably a little bit more onto the stone. Let's bump them over another like 20 pixels. There. Am I using a dual grid system? What do you mean by that, Syrup? I don't know if I've even heard of that. Dual grid. Oh, I have heard of this. But only because I made a typo when searching for it and found a video. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I am not doing something like this, no. We're just using regular auto tiles for now. Yeah. Okay, so the adventurer is going to spawn there, and then they need to know when you have sent them into battle. But this is something that every adventurer is going to need to know. And this represents a somewhat big change. Getting them to walk to the right spot should not be too hard, but making sure no other state changes while they're walking there, I think might be tough. Okay, let's draft this a little bit. How do we get adventurers to enter the portal? So you click start battle or repeat battle. I guess it would have to disable the button and mark the adventurer as being busy already, like walking to the portal. Yeah, then they just enter a state which walks them to the portal. And then when all have walked there, enter the battle. Yeah, you could have, yeah, you need some way of marking that they're busy. I think a cutscene state is one way of doing it. Although if you ever want to be able to transition out of that state, it might make it a little bit tough. But God, how did you guys start talking about bin juice? Ugh. Is it because of me saying blue mouthwash crust? Because that was totally reasonable. A default true implementation. Hey, mouthwash is clean. You put that in your mouth. All right, I think as long as we disable the button, it'll be fine. I'll show what I'm concerned with here. They all went to strange places. Well, serves you right. No more friendly conversation, just aggressive ones. Are you programming cursor right now? No, I'm using VS Code. VS Code ID. Here we go. Cursor's a program, right? I don't even know. Yeah, it's a program. Yeah, I'm using VS Code. Okay, so we wanted to make a battle. Yeah, here's what I want to show. Okay, so you've got your adventurer walking around town, right? When you click repeat battle, it's going to have to disable this button so that the adventurer can walk all the way to the portal. And maybe we make them move a little bit faster than they normally would so that you don't have to wait for so long. But that's one adventurer. When you have a lot of adventurers, they could be at all different portions of the town. So maybe you've got both a rogue and a mage, and the rogue was right there at the portal, but the mage is still walking there. So that's why you got to enter this like weird state. But then once they get there, is there any chance that you could have started a battle again? No, I guess we also needed to disable edit party for that. Or like the instance slot needs to know that you can't start a battle yet. There's another state you could get into. Oh, man. Okay, let me write this down. Also need to disable editing a party. And yeah, when they've all walked there, enter the battle. It's possible that you're starting a battle with an instance slot that doesn't exist yet. And by the time all of your adventurers make it to the portal, there is no free slot. In which case, we eject them from this state and make them wander again. There's just a lot of chance for things to go wrong here. I have not heard about Void Editor now. You just have it that they don't come out of the portal until you finish the battle. Yeah, that's already done for auto battling. But it's not done for regular battling so that they can carry items in between their fights. And that way you can manage like, oh, I have too many items, so let's have the adventurers act as workers versus I don't have enough items and we need to collect more. So now they'll go and dump these cloaks off over here. And, well, there's a quest available too. There we go. Can we queue up a repeat battle to happen for after they're done stashing the items or something? Yes. So that's something you unlock, auto battling. So if I put a point into this, you see this control at the bottom here? It says auto battle. If I enable this, then they will not re-enter town in between battles. So if I were to click win battle right now, Now you just see this timer go up again and they enter the battle. Click win. It's just items are popping out of this portal repeatedly, basically. But yeah, you have to unlock that. See, this is a good case of like, hey, there are too many items on the ground and you just can't move them all, so you can drag them yourself. Maybe we should make them wait on the ground for a little bit longer. Okay, well, time to code. So I think this is what we're going to do. I'll throw this over here for now. Yeah, this wasn't supposed to be kept here. All right. I think leave the timeout on the items as is. If you lose a couple in the beginning, it shows you why you want more workers to help move items. Yeah, also, I guess the other thing is that at some point I want to make an upgrade that just automatically puts the items into your storeroom if it can. And if it can't, then they go on the ground. So that you would probably have almost no items on the ground at any point. Although maybe you would. Okay, so we need a walking to portal state. What did I call that one? Adventurer waiting to start battle state? Yeah, we're going to make a walk to portal state. If an item ever times out, that's frustrating. Yeah, although you will have you'll have one worker, multiple adventurers, and then you can also drag items yourself. And given that it's an idle game, you could just wait an extra 20 seconds and probably get more items. Okay, let's go over to here. So how's this going to work? We need, let's just figure out how wander works. Wander, I guess we're going to do the same sort of thing, which is leave with a no target location component in this thing. Probably should do that on enter as well. But yeah, we're going to give you a target location. In state process, if you don't have one, get the target and add it. This is not going to be needed. Your wander target is always going to be the portal. It's not even wandering, actually, because you have a destination. Yeah, great. Okay, now how does get wander target work? Get regions and stuff. I don't think we need to do that. I think we can just do it this way. Pay your sleep debt. See ya, Filkir. Have a good sleep. When you wake up, it'll be Saturday and everything will be right in the world. Town portal position. Workers working with adventurers. If you make items teleport to the storehouse with an upgrade, I think some of that hustle and bustle charm will be diminished. Yeah, I could see that. I think the reason why, at least from a game design perspective, is that imagine you've got like 12 adventurers by the end of the game. You're probably going to do 3 battles with 4 adventurers each. And then the crazy amount of items you find, maybe you're finding like 12 items per minute. I don't know what, something like that. It's going to be all on your one remaining worker, or maybe you have 2 or 3, but you just have a few workers handling all these items, and it wouldn't feel like a well-oiled machine anymore. So in order to make it feel slightly better, there's that management aspect coming in of you've got to control where your adventurers are, or you've got to get faster workers or something like that. Okay, so we do this, we add this to the entity. When it reaches the target, we need to transition out of this state. ECS remove component, target location component. No, in this case, we need to know that you reached the portal. Why does this have arguments like this? I don't even know. Reached portal. All right, now let's go make that function. This goes here. All right, so when you reach the portal, we've got to do a whole bunch of things. We've got to leave this state for an in portal state. Hang on a second. Let me think about this. In portal, then make them disappear. Yeah, and then in portal, make them disappear, and make them tell someone that they made it into the portal, so that we can potentially start a battle. Yeah, and I think a lot of these factory games, Factorio, Satisfactory, you're building up the automation over time. I think this game has much, much simpler automation. And you're essentially just managing the very high level components of it. And that's what makes me think there's probably some other high level automation we need to add to the game, and I'm just not sure what yet. Yeah. One of the things I talked about with Funky Monkey in the UX session was about user research and how there are kind of two ways to approach it. One is with breadth and one is with depth. And you don't have to pick one or the other. You could kind of bounce between the two. But there are also so many areas you want to do research on. Like, is the game fun might be an idea you have. And are the systems easy or complex to figure out? And any other number of questions you have. On the is the game fun perspective, even this you can break down into, is it fun for the first hour? And is it fun for the next, 5 hours? I think people are having fun for the first hour. There isn't enough content for us to have answered this question yet. And so this is, I think, going to be my biggest worry post checkpoint 3. Like, do people stay with a game, or are they like, well, I've now experienced the whole game and I'm getting bored? I don't know. It's also a tough thing to have a user research study on because they would necessarily need to play for longer than an hour to experience the second hour of the game. And saying, hey, can you, sit in front of a computer for 2 hours and play a game you might not like? That would took you about an hour. Yeah, and I think that's roughly how much time it took a lot of people. And I think people mostly had fun. So my takeaway is that, okay, the intro experience is pretty good. But then will they want to play for another 5 hours or something? And some people might. And maybe it's just the idle players who stick around then. I'm not sure, but I do want to find out how we can make this more fun for everybody. Okay, so we need a new state for in portal state. And when you're in this state, so this to do goes over here, delete all this stuff, probably just delete all this stuff too. This is called in portal state. And then we need to add this to the adventurer. New in portal, new walk to portal. All right, so waiting to start battle. This is you literally standing around. This is only used at the beginning. Well, not only used. This is intended to be used at the beginning of the game when the adventurer is just waiting for you to start a battle. They're just standing around. Yeah. So you transition out of this, which we don't have yet. That's when you start a battle. So how about, how is this going to work? How is this going to work? Yeah, okay, I have an idea, but I'm not very happy with this. Yeah, we can put this over here. This is going to transition into walk to portal. All right, how about we just start with that? That should be good enough to see this start to work. This game has a lot of levers that can be pulled to increase longevity. As you mentioned, you can lean toward automation, lean toward battle difficulty and variety, new adventures. Can't wait for the 1.2 inventory patch personally. Yeah, I think there's a lot that can be done. I think one of the concerns that I have is that every game at its beginning is a totally blank slate. Like, you start a new GitHub repo and you have no code there. So technically it can turn into Minecraft and it can turn into Mario Kart and it can turn into GoldenEye. And then you start writing some code and it's like, all right, we've clearly steered toward a like sort of city builder, management, idle kind of game. And yet it's still somewhat of a blank slate. You can still lean into any of these things much more. You could add in entire systems on top. At what point do you know that what you've done is fun enough and you shouldn't go any further, or that you need to pivot and change completely? And like I said, I think the feedback right now is like the first hour, like pretty good. Whoops. Next few hours, who knows? Because we just don't have the content yet. I'm trying to type a question mark. Hope this upcoming checkpoint helps with that. You have done a lot to help clarify things and a lot more adventures now as well. I think part of the problem is balance, and the game right now snowballs too quickly. Yeah, and that balance is something we're going to need to tackle next week. So that's something my friend will not have experienced, is the proper balance of the game. And maybe I make some like tiny changes to make it a little easier to understand, but yeah, I think it'd be great if we could get like 2-3 hours of content into this next checkpoint and see how many people actually want to complete it. Hey, Caleb. Or sorry, hey, sorry. I meant bye, Caleb. Gonna head home because I'm tired. For whatever reason, I read this as hey guys, even though it's not that. Sometimes my brain just short circuits. You know, every once in a while I'm watching another streamer and I'm like, I can tell when they're on autopilot. And I like to be an authentic person. And yet I also like to keep the context of what I'm working on in my head. And there's only enough processing power in my brain to accommodate so many things. So at some point I'm just like, I'm just going to say words. I think 3 hours is a good goal if that can be done. So take longer to get all the adventures. Make sure you can't finish battle areas too quickly. Yeah. Yeah, and some of this is going to be hard to do because, like, if we want to stretch out how long it takes, maybe we do want the forest to last for longer. But right now it's coded so that one win means the next zone. We need to make it so that, okay, maybe it's 10 wins and you get to the next zone. Well, then we need UI to show you that it's 10 wins, and we need the user to be able to understand that. It's like stuff starts sprawling out of control. So we got our work cut out for us for the next week. I'm actually really, really glad that we're doing this so far and that it's mostly going well. I never actually showed that this worked, and I haven't seen it myself, so let's try it out. What should happen is when we have our first adventurer and we start a battle, they run to the portal. So we click this, we build a guild, we hire our first adventurer. They should just be standing around. And then we click start battle and they should run to the portal, and then nothing's going to happen. Okay, actually that did not work because starting a battle immediately starts the battle. So we need to go short circuit that thing. All right, start battle button. Yeah, we got to put them into walk to the portal state. I don't know why I thought that would work. On clicked invoke. Player wants to start fresh battle. Player wants to start battle. This just calls start battle. This calls invoke on chose instance party. This goes over to here. So this is actually not start battle. This is walk to instance. Yeah, they ran, but very fast. They flung themselves into teleportation mode. And even this can't work then, right? I mean, technically it could. You'll just think that you can start a battle before you can. All right, this is probably a polish level thing we should write down. Clean up. When you start a battle such that you're now using the third battle slot, the start battle button won't go away until the slot is actually in use, i.e. when every adventurer has made it to the portal. It's kind of minor thing. Spent a ton of time working on features and quality of life improvements. We put the game in front of players. They care way more about balance, which of course we haven't worked on yet because we're still busy making the system to be balanced. Yeah. I think it goes to show you that whatever's not done is what people are going to focus on, because people commented on the original version of Skeleseller like, oh, there's no music in the game. It's like, yeah, there's no music. I don't have the time to do that yet. So I think if you were to explicitly say at the beginning of the game, like, this is an alpha, we do not have music, do not comment on the lack of music. We will have music by the time the game comes out. Like, the game is not balanced. We will have balance by the time the game comes out. But yeah, I think it's a good sign though, because I think it means that people want to have fun with your game, and that, oh, the balance is what's stopping them and not the core idea of the game or anything. So this can't be done here. We need to instead go through each adventurer and make them go into the portal. So there is no easy way to do that, is there? Because started battle is you're starting the battle. We need some sort of event for like walk to the portal. And nothing is going to make this happen. We don't even have a component to get this, do we? I guess adventurers themselves have the state machine, although this isn't saved, is it? It is saved. But we can't force transitions. We just don't have the capability in the state machine itself, I think. Do we? Oh, no, I made it public, so I guess we technically could. Huh. So it's an external transition. Where do we use this? Oh, interesting. Only for adventurers. Okay, so what if we did that? Did I have one more book of a message above that you missed? Oh, sorry. I think it's fun to unlock a new zone. I think the guildmaster should tell you that the portal has a new location for your adventurers. I'll make that clear. Then maybe after a few failures at the new location, they could say, hey, these 2 new adventurers showed up. Do you want to hire one of them? Yeah, I think what I want to do, I think generally when it comes to player knowledge, making them do something is a good way of teaching. So rather than a location is unlocked, I would change it to the player unlocks the location. And that's where I was thinking we could have like a location skill tree sort of, where it's like forest, dungeon, volcano, and you pick which direction you want to go. But then we need a way or like a reason for you to want to pick those directions. And I just don't have a reason yet. It's just different items. That's it. And it could be difficulty of location, but that's something that the game just isn't set up to have 2 different sorts of difficulties yet, I guess. The only way we could kind of do that is longer battles or shorter battles. That's about it. But we don't have like resistances and stuff, which we can do. I want to add boss monsters in, and I think they can break the rules a bit. They can have something like every time you hit this boss monster, you take 5% of the damage you deal. So it's like, well, you probably need a healer for that fight then. Or a boss monster that's like poisons all of your allies or makes them deal less damage. So now your big damage dealers are going to do way less. So maybe you just want the small damage dealers or something. Oh, I see. Something that's nice for the next checkpoint. Yeah, the only problem is we're rapidly running out of time. Big worm.png. Yeah, something that steals buffs. Anything that just makes you think about your party composition a little bit differently. I think it's pretty important. Hey, Bedinsis. You're granted more traversal options, more areas are reachable and thus unlocked. Yeah, and in a Metroidvania where you're directly controlling your character, I think it makes a lot more sense because you have direct control. You can feel that capability change. All right, so what we're going to do here is adventurer. We can't even get the state machine. It's private. So let's just make something like force walk to portal or make, let's just call it walk to portal. State machine transition, go back over to here, walk to portal. All right, we're going to need to clean this up, but that will work. They will now start walking in the portal. They'll never start a battle, and they won't disappear when they reach the portal. It's actually interesting. I want them to disappear when they reach the portal. All right, let's try this out. So we hire our first adventurer, and we click start battle, and they should walk to the portal. Okay, that's a tiny problem. I know what's causing that. This is what Dark was saying earlier. We put them above this navigation block, so there's no way for them to actually walk outside of this thing. What we could do is just delete these navigation blocks. No one has a reason to walk over here, so it should be okay to just change. So let's do that. We'll go into the environment, and we'll figure out where those navigation blocks come from. Ah, navigation right there. And we'll just go change the tile map a little bit. Okay, so color picker on that. And now delete this and make it go like that. So any character who's instructed to go from the bridge all the way to the other side of town is still going to follow this path because that's the shortest path. but it does not preclude the adventurers from walking outside of what used to be, or walking into from what used to be out of bounds. Manages to kill any of your party, they reanimate it for the rest of the battle. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that idea. All right, I'll write it down. So they don't phase through the fabric of reality. I don't think we need to do that. But this is the kind of thing where I think this should work the same way for everybody. So if we see a bug in one place, we'll see it for everybody. We don't have any sort of boss ideas, do we? I definitely think we need to do this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to add that. And I'll file this somewhere that I want to add boss monsters. After checkpoint 3, start the vlog for the game. Add boss monsters to the game. Play is already running. No, I don't want to run a new instance. Okay, how's this working now? So now the adventurer is going to not just be stuck there when we start a battle. They're going to walk to the portal. Nice. Look at that. Oh, it's so great. They're walking right to the portal. And then they get there and nothing happens. I can write down the big worm suggestion. Oh, hang on. Let me do that really fast. And there we go. All right. It's in the document. Okay. So when they reach the portal... Yeah, that's this. They need to enter this state, which they probably do, and I just didn't print out anything here. Is the premise that you control a skeleton? Sort of. The premise is that you are the skeleton, and you're not actually controlling anything. All right, so make them disappear. This used to happen in the battle state. Set is in battle. Oh, in battle state did this. Interesting. And we disabled their process mode here too. Also interesting. So in portal state does that. So make them disappear is now done. And make them tell someone that they made it in here so that we can potentially start a battle. All right, yeah. Is your party called a skeleton crew? No. Man. What do they tell? Who coordinates this stuff? We could have an event like made it to the portal. And there could be an adventurer component that tells things about that. Is there anything like this now in the game, I wonder? Are there any events here? No. Oh. Just thinking about this. We want a walk to portal, and then we want to add an event listener that's like adventurer.on made it to portal plus equal something that, yeah, needs to check to see if you got all of your adventurers there. I think I'm going to do this because I think something like this needs to happen, but I do not like how this is going to take place in my first incarnation of this. Yeah, we need to know that every adventurer made it. We need to know what the party was to begin with. What could we do here? We could make like a party manager sort of thing. How would we do that? You just have it keep track of all the adventurers and then free itself when it needs to. Could just be like party in transit component. Yeah, I think I like that idea. Okay, I'm going to write that down, but we're not going to do that yet. To do, consider putting this into some form of party in transit class. So on made it to portal. What do we have? Walk to portal and then in portal. Reached portal. Here it is. This will put you in the new state. So I guess we don't... Ooh, what am I doing? We never transition in the state. That's what we're doing. Transition into the in portal state. Okay, good. Then we will do any logic in there that we need to do. And that on its enter function can call into something. And the something is going to either be that we cast this to an adventurer, which I think is a mistake, or we get the adventurer component from this thing and we put the event listener on there. So let's do that one. Adventurer component AC equals get it from here. If this doesn't exist, then that means that there's a problem or that we should store this somewhere else. So AC dot reached, let's call it reached portal. I think that makes more sense. dot invoke with the adventurer. Okay, now that doesn't exist, so generate that property, but it's got to be an event. So let's pull it from health component and hope that nothing messes up here. Public action reached portal. We need a getter on this. Can't we just make it? No. What am I doing? What am I doing? And add or remove accessor is expected. Also, this should pass in the entity node 2D. This doesn't. I'm being silly about this. I'm just definitely being silly. We don't need to do things this way. Yeah. All right. Great. Cool. So something from the outside of this class is going to get that, and then town should rename its stupid function from on made it to portal to reached portal. Except for that doesn't exist there. It's on adventurer component. ac.reach portal plus equal. All right, so here's what we have to do. We have to go through each adventurer and see if it made it into the portal state. And there are a couple ways we could do this. Either one is we keep track of a dictionary in here of just a bunch of Booleans, adventurers to Booleans. And I think that makes sense since we're going to eventually put this in a party in transit class. And that way we don't need to store some other state of have you made it here. Now, technically the state machine already has this, but we don't have a way of querying the current state, do we? This is protected. We could make it public and make it have a protected setter and then have a way of querying the name of the state. I don't really think that's necessary, but I guess we do have two sources of truth if we do it this way. Regardless, let's save this here. Adventurer bool has, or like has made reached portal. All right, yeah, reached portal. Yeah, we just make a new dictionary. And then in here, reach portal adventure equals true, and then see if all of them have reached. Reach portal count equals adventure count, then create the instance. So it's actually this stuff that we want to do. All right, delegate does not take that many arguments. This is going to be the adventurer, which I guess we don't actually need here. Yeah. Hey, D3CD2. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Reached portal. It's going to think it's unused because it's accessible from outside this class. I wonder if that's going to be a problem too. But let's try this out. Yeah, this might actually just work. I'd be kind of surprised if it did, but yeah, let's try it. Do you want that check inside the for loop? Technically, this is the delegate that's being created inside the for loop, which still needs to be done. Yeah. Reach portal can only... Oh, what? Why is that null? Oh, because of... Oh, darn it. Right, you got to call it from inside the class. I remember now. So this would have been an issue. Yeah. Okay, so we just need a public void reached, or like, it can't be called reached portal if this is called reached portal. Emit reached portal. That's perfect. All right, now the in portal state calls this. And then we run it. On portal reached and then method reach portal, yeah. Yeah, I think this is fine too. I try not to play for the names too much, even though I end up doing that. All right, so we hire our first adventurer. There they are. We click start battle, and they should run to the portal. And then once they make it there, it should start the battle. And then we're going to test this with multiple party members. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. We should probably fade them out, but that's a polish thing. All right, so when they finish the battle, will this work again? Okay, so they've got an item. We're going to click Start Battle. All right, so they're walking with the item with them. That's... Oh, and then I think they started like 3 battles there. What just happened? Adventurer is already in battle. Oh, I know what's going on. I have multiple of these because I need to be removing this. To me, you're checking if all adventurers are at portal for every adventure. I may be thinking of it wrong, but you're calling that if statement 4 times rather than just once after the loop. Yeah, because what's happening here is we're saying walk to the portal, and then that takes like 12 seconds. So it's only once they reach the portal that we want to do this. So the for loop is just setting up the event, and then once they reach, we're calling it for each person who reaches to see did all of them reach, which is going to be necessary. But we need to remove this event listener at some point, and nothing does that. And we need to do that somehow. Okay, let's try something. Private void adventurer reached portal. This is going to take in the adventurer. And, oh god, it's going to have to take in like everything. We should just move this to another class. Yeah. Hey, Elman. Finally found some time to answer you on Discord. TLDR, ended stream and I realized my debugging was brutally boring because of try build. Better off stream because I was able to get further. Okay, cool. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Yeah, at least one person had asked about watching the VOD. And I recognize that you're probably not turning on VODs by default in case there's something that leaks, so that it's just one step harder to get to it. So it's totally fine with me. It's also fine with me if you just don't have VODs. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to dictate how you do this. Hey, Rusty. We're watching you develop a robot game. Did you finish that project? I did finish Botland, yes. And speak of the devil, Altman, the person who right above you messaged, is the one who's going to be open sourcing Botland. So it was discontinued back in 2020, but it'll be playable again probably in 2025. Although not as like a fully fledged maintained game. It'll just sort of incidentally be online. And if you want to tinker around with it, you could. Or take a look at the code, you could. Yeah. But the website's still online. In fact, I just renewed it yesterday for like $45. I'm keeping this domain for the rest of my life. Someday I want to make a Botland too. Although the more I think about it, the more I think this game is a more approachable automation game. So in a sense, it's sort of like what Botland 2 could have been. And I thought about naming it Botland 2, but then I thought it's got to have robots if you do that. Same with .dog, for example. Yeah, and I wonder why. Demand for them probably isn't super high, right? Like, are people using .land for a lot of stuff? I would expect it to mostly just be real estate or something. It's like, wouldn't there be like 10 domains that people want and then that's it? So those should cost like $1 million and mine should cost $10? But no. Who knows? Maybe the real trick will be someone buys Botland for $1 million, just the domain. And I'm like, well, I guess it was the best business decision of my life. Not a programmer, would love to learn. Tried many times, not my thing, sadly. I think some of it has to do with how you learn too. And I don't necessarily mean like what kind of learner you are. I mean, were you trying by following tutorials? Was it through a class? Was it through just tinkering around on your own? Those could all have very different outcomes for you depending on what you like. Not to say that you should definitely try again, but just if you did try again, maybe try something slightly different and then maybe it'd have a different result. You only have 7 days to publish it. I'll do that now. Well, last week's VOD is extremely boring because I'm mostly watching Yarn build. Oh, man. Yeah, hopefully when everything's building, it'll be, I guess, much faster because there wouldn't be that process. Just can't memorize it all. You know, really, nowadays, and again, I'm not trying to super convince you here. I'm just saying things have changed. AI has really changed the landscape of what it takes to develop at this point. So having to remember even syntax. So if you're like, oh man, okay, there's private and then void, and then I need some like, you know, write to screen here, and then I need an argument here, so string text. And by the time you've written this, it's like, look, the AI has already written out the entire rest of this function, and there it is. And it's like, oh, cool. All All right, that's what I wanted. So with AI writing things for you, you don't have to memorize as much anymore, or really even kind of anything to some extent. It could even answer questions. If you were like, write me a simple calculator class that supports the basic 4 mathematical operations. Now, I don't know if it's going to get this right, but at the very least, it's like, look, I had a really simple problem statement here, and it just wrote me out a bunch of code, and it's even proving that it can use this code. And now you could be like, you know what, instead of add, let's put a exponent function or something like that. And yeah. So anyway, if you ever tried coding again, I highly recommend trying anything with AI. And then you literally just saw me do this here, right? We now have a calculator program. I'm guessing this works because there's no red squigglies. I haven't, deeply looked through it, but it does what you might expect. And while this is a really simple example, you'd be able to look at this and be like, okay, I get it. These are functions. Here's how they work. They take in 2 different operands and they add them together. Yeah. Yeah. I heard about the AI thing. What kind of app would you recommend? Really, any of them I think are going to be a good start if you're learning how to code, because I think that AI gets harder to use when your domain gets more and more complex. And if you're learning how to code, then your domain is probably not complex. Like writing a calculator app is probably the kind of thing you might do as a beginner programmer, and writing things that like save to your file system or something like that. Those are all simple enough that probably any AI is going to do a pretty good job at that. I think where it gets harder is when you're like, hey, I need to go incorporate this library and teach me how this part of the code base works. And then it's like, okay, maybe then you might need a more specific AI or a better grasp on what you're doing with that AI. But yeah, it shouldn't really matter what you pick at first. Check Cloudflare for domains, seem to be a decent price. I haven't checked for bot.land, but I did check for Skeleseller.com, and I think it was pretty much roughly the same price. Yeah. Implemented the board game Amazing Labyrinth in Unity. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Did you use AI for that though, Bedinsis? All right, we're gonna make our party in transit class and have this manage everything for us. I don't know where we should put it. Probably into battle. It's not. It's you're in transit so that you can battle. So I feel like it would go there. But you're in transit, so it means you're in the town. I think I'm gonna put it in town. Yeah. All right. So what do we have? Signs. Sure. Let's go find signs and save this as party in transit. And then rename this party in transit. Something needs to store this. So either it could be a node and Godot could be the thing storing it, which I think is pretty reasonable. And the other thing too is that this is just storage. This is not rendering at all. This could just be a node. This represents a party that has to walk to the portal. Battle can only start when all party members have reached the portal. And even then, it may not be possible for the battle to start, e.g. if all instance slots are full. There's something else I wanted to write for this, though. Oh, yeah. This is a Godot. Gonna fill this out for me. Node. Just so that the... I gotta write out town. Town doesn't have to store it via code. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Harvard lectures and MIT lectures even exist online for free is still crazy to me, and they're very high quality. At least the MIT ones were. I assume the Harvard ones are too. Yeah. Just notice you changed your keyboard. The older one was alien technology. This one is still alien technology. Okay, so now we got to write out this class. So we're going to make a party in transit. Oh, this isn't how you do this, is this? How do you do this? Oh man. How did I make a battle system? Battle system. Are these just there by default or do we ever make a new one? Oh, these are passed in like everywhere, so this isn't gonna find this for me. But maybe we could search for instantiate. What just happened? I don't even know. Instantiate. New. Instance. There it is. Battle system. Where do we make this? Get node. Okay, so we make it through the editor. I thought there was some system that we made only at runtime. Music system, battle system, effect system. Is it the effect system? Oh, right there. Yeah, new. How do we do that? What? I'm so confused. How do we make a new one of these things? Isn't it a node? Is that just valid? Oh, I didn't realize that. I guess. Okay. Well, then that makes it easy. Covers things you don't usually learn via school but need to know. Yeah. Happy made it work. Didn't take too long. Formula VBA was acting up, so I just made the code update the random numbers and copy and paste the random numbers as values. Yeah, spreadsheet logic I think is tough for me as a coder sometimes because I want there to just be like a straightforward programming language, but you have to learn a whole lot about how the spreadsheet does things. And the kinds of things I've done in the past are not like super crazy, but they take me way longer to do. Actually, one of the things I was thinking of doing, and I've done this before once, was I have my journal here, and every day I need to add a new entry, which is just make a new row, which is easy enough, and then put in the current date, which again is easy enough. So I just do it via the keyboard, but I could actually float a button out here somewhere like this and click it, and it runs a script, and I could have it add in the row. I just haven't done that. Interviewed Ella in the morning. Yeah, that's my journal for today. We can cross that off the list. It's way at the bottom. Oh my god. No, wait, no, it's not. It's at the bottom of this list. There we go. So we can actually just write Monday here. Tenants journal. All right, let's keep making progress on this. So we got to make a new party in transit. Party in transit equals new. And then initialize that with all the stuff that we need to know. The instance ID, the adventurers, the instance slot to use. And I think that's pretty much it. I guess the town as well. Why is the town even needed? For set battle button visibility? No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we can just have a final thing here that knows how to listen for all of these. Party in transit. We could have like a party reached portal. And then that can call this stuff. Party in transit dot reached portal plus equal this. Yeah. So now this code would go into this over here. I guess we need an init function, and this isn't going to play ball with me, so I guess we need to restart this. If you went chronologically, you could just do the bottom right drag thing. What monadic bind? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. In the journal. Yeah. Where you click this and then... Can you go upward with that? I don't... I guess we could have done this. Oh, it's going in the wrong order of dates, though. Mainly use the macro recorder, then edit the code it writes. Yeah. Oh, I have code to add a row into a spreadsheet that I did for something else. So I could just resurrect that. But I just haven't done it. And it's not that hard to just do it directly. My colors got muted. Let's worry about that in a second. It's so weird though. Just need to copy this stuff. Okay, now let's update this. I wonder what changed with this update. Yeah, dark, not vivid. All right, show me the patch notes. What? Not gonna show me them? Doesn't it always do that? Patch notes. Show release notes. All right. No, we already saw this. Oh, is it this one? Is this like some special update? Recovery workers fail. Single quote in application directory. No, I'm not running into those issues. Oh man, so sorry to hear about the headache. You could always watch on YouTube if you want to for that. Yeah, I'll at some point probably write a macro or a button to do this. Otherwise, like I said, the way I've been doing this up until now has been I click this cell, I type alt/, type the word above, enter, then command semicolon, and then just copy this usually because I happen to work on Skeleseller most times, and then just write in my notes. So it doesn't take too long. It's not automated. How do you clear delete row? There we go. All right, so this is in here. Each party in transit is going to have its own private dictionary for reached portal. Okay, sure, make it read only. Instant slot to use, I guess, wouldn't be done. And then when all of them reach the portal, we need to know. So if reached portal.count equals adventurers.count, then we're going to emit the everybody reached thing, which is called the same thing over here. Why is this yelling at me? Oh, okay, that's fine. Should not follow a property. That's still a property. Okay, put this up here and call that. All right, so problem, we do not have a way of removing this, and we need that. And also, once we're done with the party in transit, we need to queue free this thing. And then we need to remove the event listeners. So this is private void party member reached portal. And I guess we care about the adventurer here. Party member reached portal, because we got to eventually remove this. Is this all the same code that we had? Yes, 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 and yes. Yeah, good. No overload matches action. Oh, we needed to pass in the adventurer now? Yeah, let's go do that. Adventurer. Actually, just node 2D, I guess, right? It's got to be an adventurer, though, doesn't it? Well, this is an adventurer component, so I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if that were what I did. In portal state. Emit it with the entity. So it's a node 2D. Node 2D entity. Or adventurer, I guess. And then the party in transit stuff can be a dictionary of node 2Ds, right? Yeah. Okay. And good. All right, so it says remove instant slot to use. I think we'd be good if we did that. We now need a dispose function here, which is going to clean this thing up. Why is it so hard to find a dispose function? Here we go. Dark livid. It's like that font we found that was just had red baked in on Google Fonts. There is no changing it. The Angie font. Shift space twice to select the entire row. Command option equals for add. And command option minus for remove. Huh. Command option equals. Let's go try that. Wait. Am I pressing equals? Yeah, I am. Huh. Command option equals is set to the accessibility thing to zoom in for me. And now it's not zooming to the right level. Okay, there we go. Maybe, I guess we could do that. Command option plus lets you go down to insert row. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Wait, which means it's command option shift equal? Yes. Doesn't work with the zoom. Well, I can still use this one and insert a row. Can I do minus? No, I can't. Yeah, because of my accessibility stuff. And I actually do use that. Well, at least I use this to zoom in on stuff. I don't really use it to change the zoom level. But I guess I could. Okay, so on disposing this, we want to go through every adventurer that had this thing set up and remove this, which means we need to keep track of all of these. What are we gonna do? This gets set up here. I guess we're gonna track which adventurer components we had, huh? Private list adventurer component. Components with listeners. I guess we also make this read only. And then in here, we add this. And in here, we go through all of them and remove them. All right, well, that was very protracted, but that should fix the issue that I ran into. Then we just need to remove this stuff because it doesn't matter. Yep. All right, now the one problem we run into is that now this needs to have its listener cleaned up as well. And I don't know how we're going to do that. Well, there's one thing I can think. Private void party in transit reached portal. Party in transit. Can we remove the listener from here? No overload matches. Oh yeah, I think we should be able to. Okay, so we just take in the party in transit thing. This is probably a little strange. Yeah. Now we just put this party in transit reach portal and then copy this code down to here. Oh yeah, we got to pass in all the other stuff. Oh my god. All right, this is stupid. Definitely stupid. Also, if I just turn this into a Godot signal, I think it gets cleaned up automatically when we queue free. So if we just do that, we shouldn't have a problem. All right, let's go change that then. Okay, so how do we make this into a Godot signal? And where is an example of us doing this? I think it's the event args thing. Yeah. Godot signals automatically clean themselves up, whereas C# events do not. Thus, when we know we're dealing with a Godot node anyway, we should use a Godot signal and save ourselves a potential headache. Yeah, well, I never included an example about this, did I? But I think it's the event arg stuff. So money component, event handler. This comes from Godot. No, this doesn't. What? What is a Godot signal? C# signals. Bound values, signal creation of runtime. Button.connect, signal name. Okay, I see. Hey, Halter baby. I'm doing well. How's it going for you? Also finished assembling a corn. Having fun learning typing again, realizing all the bad habits I have. Yeah, but you're going to correct all those bad habits as you learn and just, I don't know, it'll just be great. Yeah, search for signal. Yeah, thanks. I have two. Search for signal. All right. Gift Kevin 1 point. Completed my big project. I feel happy. Cool. What was the project? I don't recall if you've told me already, so I apologize for that. Pushing that production this month. Nice. Nice. All right. So we want to do this. This is going to be reached portal. Oh, and it needs to have event handler at the end. And it doesn't have any arguments. And how do we invoke this? Oh, it's just called ran out of money. Emits signal. Reached portal. And then the other side of this needs to listen to it. So let's go figure that out too. Do we need to search for ran out of money? Yes, it's just dot ran out of money plus equal the other. Yeah. Okay, so it's just like normal. Hopefully we can use a lambda. Yeah, looks like we can. That's the plan. Nice, nice, nice. End-to-end API with 3 CDN specific products. Wow. Oh, this is a work project. Okay. I'm guessing. This does not sound like a for fun project. All right, well, a different kind of congratulations. I'm just recontextualizing what I was thinking earlier. Oh, it's still an accomplishment to do that, whether or not it's for yourself. Yeah. Man, I have just been barreling through this whole thing. It's been like 2 hours. I'm still glad I'm doing this, but I've got to put in a lot of time to finish this, huh? First ever work project, not fun project. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'd say celebrate. You should do 2 things. 1, the celebration, however that means to you. And 2, and I suggest this to kind of everyone that I mentor. So this is just a tiny piece of advice, take it or leave it. But try to look at what obstacles you overcame as you did this. Sort of, break down what it took to see success on this project. Because I think a lot of times it's easy to just go from one success and be like, now what's the next one? What's my next project? What am I going to do? And then it's easy to get into this imposter syndrome of like, oh, I'm not actually doing any good work because you just move past the success so quickly. All right, will this work? Let's speed this up. Good, this should work. Am I gonna add a pixel font? I don't think so, no. All right, now I want to start a new battle with the same adventurer. Okay, so there's just one thing that's a little weird about this, which is they drop their item when they make it to the portal again. And that's not even necessarily bad. Okay, that's a problem. Repeat battle needs to send you to the portal. I don't know with a few sentences. Yeah. And that's part of the reason I keep the journal too. Success after success without knowing how. Hey, Rex. Yeah, I think if you're never bothered by it, then that advice doesn't really matter. But I think a lot of people, it's probably a tendency to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep flitting from thing to thing. Hey, muscle man. Oh man. Okay, I gotta take a break pretty soon. But this is working pretty well. We gotta write this next bit down. Need start battle to send the adventurers into the portal. Need to disable start battle in the end battle screen and repeat battle. Or it's not repeat battle. What am I talking about? Need repeat battle. You need to disable editing the party. Same with starting a battle when we know the instance slot. Oh man, make sure this doesn't break. Auto battle. Disable editing the party in the battle screen and the repeat battle button when you're walking to a portal. Need to handle what happens if there are no instance slots open. When your party makes it to the portal, they should transition states back to wander. I don't even know how we test that. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of difficulty with this. But in general, I think it looks pretty nice. Oh yeah, and then the other thing we need to answer is figure out whether we want adventurers to drop items immediately or only upon reaching the portal. Leaning toward the latter. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. So here you see the rogue carrying a potion around. Let's slow this down. Okay, so you see the rogue carrying a potion around. When we start the battle, they go to the portal, but they only drop it when they reach the portal, which I think is fine. Like I don't think that's a problem. And then all of your items are always collecting by the portal anyway, instead of just like randomly dropping a potion over there where you're not looking. So in fact, I'm not gonna think about this anymore. I like that. We're not doing anything about that. Yep. So this is pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Oh yeah, we never tested with multiple party members. Let's go try that. Okay, so now we have a bunch of party members. Oh, they all start right there. I forgot about that. Well, we got to fix that at some point. But if we start, let's say like these into a battle and the rogue, we can't start all of them. Let's just start those two. I think this is going to force all of them to move. No, it won't. All right, so the event. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Fix bug where not all party members need to make it to the portal for them to start. I had moved the paladin and the rogue into a party at the dungeon, and only the rogue made it to the portal when it started the fight. I really want to take my break, but I'm also just curious really quickly what is going wrong there. We call walk to portal. When they reach the portal, we call this. We set this to true, and if the reached count, oh, that's why. We never track components with listeners or adventurers or anything like that. Components with listeners not count. That's a very weird way of doing this, though. Yeah, I think it's better to just say private int num adventurers in party and just set this equal to that. And then down here, do this. And then over here, delete the bug. I'll just write test with multiple party members again. All right, break time. Is it jump time? It's not gonna answer me. Is it jump time? What is this thing hearing? Is it jump time? It's jump time. Yay. Okay. Well, for those who want to play, type join in Twitch chat, and then you can type J in a number and jump. I'll be back in a few minutes. buddy? All right. Close the game. All right, need repeat battle to send the adventurers in the portal. Same with starting a battle when we know the instance slot. Let's see how that works. It only works if you started from the same place. So you'd have to have skill enough to make it to exactly where Darkstorm starts. It would be funny to do that, though. It's sort of like if you're playing chess with a bunch of people, you can essentially turn it into matches where people are playing against each other. And they're just copying moves. How much more comfortable is your keyboard compared to a standard QWERTY keyboard? Or QWERTZ, I guess. My wrist is in pain. Do you think I should switch? I can't comment from firsthand experience. I feel like this is more comfortable and there's less finger movement, but it's hard to say for sure because I didn't really have pain to begin with. The biggest thing that I've heard from people who've had pain is that exercising helped them more than anything else. With that said, yes, switching to a different keyboard could potentially help. Maybe a split one would help. Maybe just tenting your current keyboard would help. Well, I guess you can't tent a non-split keyboard such that there are different angles. Like to show you what I'm talking about here, if I could rotate this like this, that's a little bit more natural of a hand position. Not this exaggerated, but you know, rotated. Same thing, you might have seen vertical mice, where instead of using your mouse like this, it's actually on its side. That sort of thing could still be better for you too. It'd be too easy to troll that bot. But Ski could do it from a second account. It's easy to make a new account. It's not easy to become a mod. We're helping Ski cheat. Also, I guess at some point you need to disengage the mod and actually, or the bot and actually win. Okay, so repeat battle. Let's go find that. Repeat battle. It is the repeat battle button, which is there. And when you press this, we call repeat battle, which calls into this, which calls into presumably, yep, here, which calls this, which calls into this. All right, so here's where it all is. What is this doing? It checks to see if one of the adventurers is already in battle. I guess if they are, then we can just stop right there. If they're not, rather than creating an instance, we want to create a party in transit again. Although you might be repeating, oh, you might be repeating a battle when the party members are already in battle to begin with. Okay. Yeah, it would be relatively easy, right? If user equals Darkstorm, and you just turn it on at the right time and turn it off at the right time. Just copy their messages and send them in Twitch chat. I definitely don't think it's worth doing, but it would be funny. Yeah, so if anyone's already in a battle, we need to cut this out, and then we need to see if, what is it called? If they're all in that, they all have to be in the battle lobby, or they all have to be in the world. Yeah, so all of the party is either all in the battle lobby waiting for auto battling, or they're in the world, but there can't be a split between them since they all just got out of the same battle. If they were in the world, then they need to run to the portal again. You're making the adventure animation between the stages, or it's something else? No, this is just the running into the portal to start a battle. Why did I do this? Oh yeah, I did this because I think this is going to help the new player experience to tell you what's kind of going on. Which I hope it actually does that, or else we've got a problem. So adventure component knows that we're in the lobby or not, right? Yes, we do. Okay, so we just need to check one of these. We just do instance.adventurers dot, or 0, I guess. So adventurer, first adventurer equals this. First adventurer. Actually, do we even have a first thing? Yes, we do. All right, so if they are in the battle lobby already, then just start the instance directly. If, oh, that's not how that works. Oh my God. AC. So if the first one is in the battle lobby, then just start directly. Indexing at 0 should be used. Okay, fine. If they're not, then we need to do what we did with the whole party in transit thing. Let's just copy paste this whole function because I'm not actually sure this is what I want. We need to call started battle.invoke. But this one needs to call create instance. Does that call started battle? Let's do date instance init. Oh, what? What is going on? I don't know. I guess it's not starting a battle. I guess starting a battle just represents when you start an instance slot. Well, what listens to this? I guess that's the important part. No. What listens to this is the oh man, it should be the skill tree cares about this. Drat, I don't. Huh. Whenever I watch you use C# and Godot, it makes you feel like switching to C#. Do you have more control with C#? My reasons for using it are in this. I'll just link it to you. Yeah, this. So take a look at that link. If those reasons don't apply to you, then I don't think you should switch or anything. I think GD script is getting better and better. Yeah. I don't know what this is doing. Don't we have a character or a party member or something somewhere that knows if you've started a battle? On battle state changed. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so then yeah, started battle is just when you consumed an instance slot, I'm pretty sure. Instance slot. I don't even think that's true. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, well, let's just copy paste this then. And paste this here. This is instance.adventurers. Same thing with this. Instance.id. The battle button visibility wouldn't have to change because it's repeating a battle. I guess that's the important part. Everything else looks pretty much fine. Instance.slot. Very peculiar. And this isn't even correct anymore, right? What am I doing here? Oh, right. I don't need to remove that anymore. Do you ever open the Godot app and use the nodes? I do sometimes, yeah. Normally for UI. I have verified accounts only. I don't have another phone number. Oh. All right. Well, dead in the water. So I think this is going to work okay. I'm still confused about why is there a started battle that this doesn't call? And first, let's make sure that's even the case. Is it somehow calling it? Slot update container. No. Yeah, no. Unless this does. And it doesn't. I mean, so far. Yeah, it doesn't. But then, did I add this recently? Like, what am I? Started battle. The only things that listen to this is the worker to know that you started a battle so that you know how to play the game. The instance is, oh, this calls create instance. Well. Yeah, so I don't know why this code was here then. This could have just been started battle, right? ID, instance, adventure, player, ability, instance, slot ID. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's it. I don't know what I was thinking. So I think we just copy paste this up to here and we're good. So it's either you start it immediately or you start it after going to the portal. We need to test this, of course. This is an adventurer component. We just need to know if this is in the lobby, though, so we can do that. Okay. All right, let's try this. Let's test a couple of different scenarios here. So we're going to test the first one, which is just an adventurer going into the portal. We click start battle. We go over to here. It's walking to the portal. It gets to the portal. It starts a battle. It finishes the battle and should pop out of the portal. Good. All right, now I click repeat battle and it should go back to the portal. Also good. Now what happens if I click repeat battle like a bunch of times? That caused a problem. I need to disable the button as soon as you clicked it. Yeah, it says adventure is already in battle. I figured something like that would happen. All right, so that's easy to fix. End battle screen, repeat battle. So as soon as you press this, where's the pressed handler? Where is the pressed handler? Toggled. No, that's the wrong thing. It's this. Yeah, repeat battle. All right, so when you repeat battle, we got to make the repeat button dot disabled equals true. And I guess if the auto repeat stuff exists there to turn that on or off, I don't know if that even matters. Well, let's start with that. I got to go through this flow every single time though. Oh, create instance is probably going to break. We need to just force adventurers into battle. I don't know. I got to make sure that hasn't broken yet. I have a lot of work to do tonight because I want to get this stuff done by tomorrow. Make sure the debug create instance button hasn't broken. That one's not important because my friend won't have access to the debug button. All right, so that worked. We can't click repeat battle multiple times. So yeah, you just re-enter the battle. We're going to force a win. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to try editing this to go to the dungeon. So repeat, click, go to dungeon, start. So now what happens? It's probably going to give us an error saying it's already in the battle. Yes, it did. Yep. Yeah, so we got to stop you from editing the party as well. I guess the end battle screen should know that you already started a new battle. Private bool like has started new battle. So when you press the repeat button, we set this to true. When you auto repeat, I guess there's no problem there. No, there is a problem there. What am I talking about? Yeah, when it times out, we're going to try entering battle. How does this work? This is going to be broken, isn't it? Oh, man. This is a nightmare. Yeah, what are we doing here? We're getting your adventurers. We're going through. If they were not in battle, we're healing them to full. Then we invoke this function, which is going to try to put them into battle, presumably. Oh, interesting. This is going to do this automatically and correctly. Which means that the code after this can't possibly work. Yeah. How fun. Yeah, this is going to be broken. So this will attempt to put adventurers in battle. which may involve walking back to the portal if you only just enabled auto battle. And its result will be asynchronous. So we can't count on it happening here that you made it into battle. In fact, that'll almost never happen. So we need to know when you reach the portal and auto battle was enabled. Well, this could happen. So they wouldn't be, yeah. They were in the battle lobby. Then they don't need to walk to the portal. So we can remove them from the lobby. Meaning they would have started the battle synchronously. So we can remove them from the lobby. Okay, this is a little confusing, and I think this probably shouldn't be here. We should have some other way of doing this. Getting your fiber hooked up Monday. Fiber internet is great. We have it now, but before that, we just couldn't get it in our last place. And one day, they came by and put these flyers on our door, and it said, sign up for fiber internet, just call this number. And we call the number, and they say, oh yeah, we don't have it in your neighborhood. And I'm like, why'd you put the flyer on our door? It's like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, hey, here's a service you literally cannot sign up for. We're going to advertise to you. Yeah, it was just some mistake. They shouldn't have gone to that neighborhood, I guess. But yeah, like I said, we have it now and everything's good. Okay, so this was auto battle. Have I gotten this to work correctly then? I feel like I have. What's on my clipboard? Has started a new battle. Oh yeah, we were gonna disable something. What happens if you turn off auto battle? Auto battle. Turn off auto battle. Toggle auto repeat button. I don't think there's a problem with doing this. Yeah, I don't think there's a problem. We need to test something. Test what happens when you have auto repeat enabled. When you enable auto repeat and it sends the party to the portal, but then you disable it before they get there. Should have sued for false advertising. I don't know if you'd even win a case like that. Like, hey, they left a flyer on our door and we called and they didn't have the service. And even if you won, I don't know how much you'd win. All right, is there anything else that can happen here? Yeah, editing your party. All right, where do we do that? Here. This is edit party, yeah. Love rubbing salt in the wounds. Actually, my ISP's been pretty good. Like, I haven't really had any issues with them. Probably against terms of service, but you wouldn't have agreed to the terms of service because it was for an ISP you literally couldn't sign up for. You didn't buy anything, so I don't think it's the case. Like, you weren't even able to lose money. Yeah. It was a case of getting your hopes up too much. My hopes are dashed. This is going to be on edit party or edit party. Okay. This is party section and adventurer. And adventure on party, on edit party, invoke with the instance. Where's the instance come from? Oh, man. Because I want this button to not work. Actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? We can just disable. No, we can't. Yeah, we can't. We'd have to do this here. And so we need to know the instance. Is the instance saved? It is. Oh, look at that. Well, then that fixes that problem. So now all we need to do is, if you've already started the battle, then just return. So you can't edit your party if you've started the battle. That should all work totally fine. We move this to the bottom of the file. Try launching that. Scott, I've got a hike command. I thought it was a snarky response. It's not snarky. All right. So, yeah, there's a lot of just weird things that can happen here. All right, we let them win this battle. So now we're going to turn on auto battle and just wait and see what happens. After 3 seconds, they should be put back toward the portal. Please tell me you're walking there. Yeah, this should probably go away as well. I mean, I think that worked. So now we win that one. And they battle. Cool. We cancel auto battle and win. And now we start auto battle, but then cancel it before they make it to the portal. Yeah, so now we turn this off. And I guess that worked. But I'm guessing there'd be another problem here, which is you turn this on, you turn it off, and then you turn it back on. And if this triggers before the 3 seconds is up, they probably try joining 2 battles. Yes, they do. Yeah, so that caused a bug. Oh, man. What a ridiculous thing. All right, so there's an auto repeat button, and you should not be able to press this when, if toggled on, start auto repeat timer. You know what we could do? We could just say if you try joining 2 battles, it just doesn't work. It doesn't produce an error like this. Because there are lots of little things that can go wrong here that I just don't think players are really going to do. The auto battle timer should switch to saying walking to portal when it completes. Should it even do that? It's only when you toggle it on the first time. No, maybe that shouldn't even be done. When you turn on auto battle for the first time for a party, they have to walk to the portal. So don't put a minimum time on it. Probably don't even show a timer. Maybe just show walking to portal instead of the timer. Yeah, adventure is already in battle. Let's go take a look at that. Adventure is already in battle. This is set is in battle here. So what's happening is we're trying to create another instance entirely. Create player battlers. We shouldn't even get to that point. Yeah, I guess we shouldn't get to this point. Init create instance. Yeah, we could just check here. If any of them are already in a battle, just don't let it work. Do we have any for eaches that look through them all? No, we don't. All right, well, for each adventurer in adventures, if ECS get component is in battle already, then say that you're not allowed to do that. Yeah. And then write the rest of the syntax. Let them know. There we go. Hang on 1 second. Okie dokes. Excel fixes if error. Takes care of most things on simple spreadsheets. Is it just ignore any errors that happen? So now this this adventurer is already in battle, wherever this showed up originally, which is an, I guess, adventurer, is now not going to be a problem. And this actually prevents us from having to cover all these edge cases, I guess. Yeah. Like, we don't even really need to disable it, although we probably should. Let's see. God, I probably shouldn't be trying to make changes one day before showing this to somebody. All right, so they go into battle. They win the battle. Then we're going to click. Wait, what are we going to do? We're going to start auto battle. Wait for that to complete. Turn it off, turn it back on. And now it should try starting 2, but there shouldn't be any problem now that I've fixed that code, right? Yeah, no bug prints out. We should have actually seen the text over here, which I just missed, that said can't start because it was already in battle. I guess I could try that again in a bit. But yeah, once this completes, I think it should be fine. We should not see the adventurer come back into town. Yeah, it just restarts. Okay, so what happens if we turn that off? Yeah, they exit the portal. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Wait, we got to wait for them to get far enough away. I don't think I got it in time. We turn this on and we click repeat battle. Yeah, so now is there floating text up here? I don't know. If it was, maybe it was in world coordinates and it was just really hard to see. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it shows up in the instance space. All right, so it showed up like right here and then faded away. So this isn't helping anything right now. Yeah, all the floating text from instances manager is just blocked. It's kind of a bug, but none of that text should show up. All of the floating text that spawns as a child of instances manager gets blocked on the screen by the viewport. We would need to spawn this lower. Yeah, instead of at 0, we spawn it at like 100. I mean, this is a temporary fix for sure, but there we go. But yeah, I think this makes it so that I don't need to do as much with the UI for this. But I definitely think I'm losing steam. I need to take like a pretty long break, probably get dinner, and probably take another look at this. What else do we have to do for this? Hire adventurer, spawn the next to the guild master. Oh, I wanted to tell them about how items get picked up, and we never got to that. Man, this took all day. And then future adventures aren't going to work. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I definitely have a lot of work tonight. Alternatively, what we could do is we could just revert to an older commit. I could share that for tomorrow, but I'd like to just get this all working. Uneven number of pixels wide, so I can't make the hitbox perfect. It's annoying me, probably an unreasonable amount. Even if it wasn't an uneven number of pixels wide, pixel snapping could still make that happen. Because pixel snapping is taking a floating point number and converting it into an int. So even if you had a 2 pixel wide thing, then you're still going to potentially snap to something and delete a pixel off of it. But I think in almost every game, you're not going to notice that 1 pixel. Like a bullet hits your character moving it, whatever, 400 pixels per second. It's like it really only had to move 399. Are you going to notice that? Probably not. Yeah, I think this and this are going to be really important. Game Boy resolution game. Yeah, although Game Boy resolution, you probably wouldn't need pixel snapping. In fact, I don't even know. Did Game Boy? I don't think the Z80 had natural floating point processing. Oh, there's extended precision. I haven't coded in ZAD in forever. I'm not going to read all this stuff. Of course I will. I'm not an amateur. Whenever anything is not pixel perfect, I just stop using the product. I throw out my computer and buy a new one so it's untainted. Yeah, well, all right. I got to do all this stuff. I'm going to probably end the stream and probably tackle this tonight. It's about like 4 o'clock my time. And the user research session tomorrow is at 10 a.m. So I've got a few hours tonight of probably good work and a couple hours tomorrow. I don't think it's going to take that long to accommodate all of these things. And then once that's done, I kind of feel like that's it. That's all I'll do. If we take a look at what the game looks like now, assuming that this stuff was working, it's still not fully self-explanatory, but I think it's better. And at least it's holding your hand for a little bit at the beginning. I've got the land for Skeletown, but I need adventurers to do battle for me. If only I had a guild. There's a sign. All right, so I build this. Looks like you need to hire an adventurer. I can buy one if you'd like. And it'll only cost you 20 gold. All right, so we pick an adventurer. There's our adventurer. You know that they just spawned there. And then this guy's going to tell you to start the battle. Yup. So we start the battle. And then you'd be like, oh, I should probably just watch this character move. This is where we should automatically pan the camera for you. And that way you see them enter the portal. And then the battle plays out. And maybe a dialogue spawns now saying, hey, battles are automatic. You just sit back and manage your town or something. I don't know. And then they win the battle. And it's going to pop out the character with an item. And at this point, you'd be like, now what? And the only button that catches your attention is this, repeat battle. But actually, you need to notice to pan the camera over here and click Build Alchemist. So yeah, that's something I will have done by the end of the week, but I won't have probably done by tomorrow. Why are they all walking in place? You can pause the animation. Yeah, I want them to have probably an idle animation eventually. But for now, I want to get this done as quickly as possible, so they're walking in place. So now when you repeat a battle, this got disabled. This character is walking toward the portal. They're taking their sweet time. And they fight another battle. Can we call this or no? Did it make a new character? It did. Oh, and they do walk toward the portal. So create instance is just shorthand for hire a new adventurer and then make them go to the portal. Didn't I click that twice though? I don't think it works again. Oh, it does work. I see. Oh, man. There's the warrior slowly coming over here. Yep, you can do it. Oh, wait, that just totally broke. Yeah, it did not create a battle. The warrior just disappeared for good. Right? That's not the warrior. Yeah, they're gone. They are not coming back. Wow. Well, what does it think the state of that is if I start a battle? Oh, okay. Yeah, they're just stuck in the portal. So when they win this, they should come out of the portal. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a problem. Handle what happens when, yeah, there. It's this one. This needs to be done. Having characters just disappear. Just snap your fingers. They're gone. All right, let me find somebody to raid. Today was a very full day, and I very much enjoyed it. But I am quite tired now. Who are we gonna raid? Who have I not raided in software engineering? Oh, I just never like doing this. I need to make a filter thing that just filters by the English speaking streams that have been online forever and that I haven't raided. And that way I just see the list and I know who to raid. All right, let's raid this person. Yeah, I don't think I've raided them before. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We're going to go raid this person. I'll hang out for a little bit, but then I got to get going and do more coding myself. 1 week from today is when the next alpha is going to launch of Skeleseller, and that's when we'll finally get some more feedback. And there's a ton of work to do before then. But yeah, hey Cayman NSI, nice to see you. And yeah, take care everyone. Let's all say hi to, who is this? Mr. Fourth Dimension. So yeah, bye everybody. Take care.